Hello, Internet. My name is Roro, and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone's having a good day. Today, I wanted to tell a story from my personal life about a family that I know, that I've known for my whole life, and how the relationship has changed, how it has evolved and caused me to evolve, dealing with resentment, addiction, death, and it's just been on my mind lately, so I just wanted to get it out. So let's get into it. So I grew up in a town in North New Jersey, just a regular white suburb. And since I was either in kindergarten or preschool, there was this family, and they were like our family friends. They had two kids, two sons, and there was me and my sister in my family, and we were basically the same age. So since we were like in preschool, kindergarten, we knew each other and grew up together. And then we moved when I was in fifth grade, and they ended up moving also right next door to us. And what's funny is before we moved, we lived next door to their cousins. So it went deep. It goes deep. So from fifth grade until I basically went away to college, I spent pretty much every moment with this family when I wasn't in school. Like we played video games together. I skated with one of the brothers, and we would play basketball, just like fuck around, make stupid videos. And I spent, my formative years spending a lot of time with them, these two brothers, and they were probably the closest people in my life, literally, and just the most amount of time that I spent with anybody my age. And my relationships with them would, raise and lower as when you're a kid, you get into like little kid beefs. So there'd be times where I'd be closer with one than the other, but they were only a year apart. So, I'm really into skateboarding. So the younger brother was the skateboarder. So when I was more in a skateboarding phase, I would be spending more time with him. Or the other one was really into playing Halo, and I would loved playing Halo. So when I was more in like a video game phase, I would spend more time with him. So enough background, we spent our whole kid childhood teens together. I went away to school, I came back. I even lived in New Mexico for a little while and then came back to New Jersey. This was all in like my late teens, early 20s. So then fast forward to my 20s, and they still live there. I'm living with my parents at the time again. And the younger brother, one of my best friends, be, just has gone down the path of addiction and is just really doing a lot of drugs all the time. And the older brother, I still would hang out with him, but they hated each other because the older brother is this sort of like money guy, like you got to have a job, you got to have drive, just very like capitalist kind of thinking. He just like really started to hate his younger brother for being an addict. And I've dealt with a lot of people with addiction in my life. I know it's hard to be around an addict. They're manipulative people and they are hard to have a relationship with. So I understand, but I ended up being, the person that he could lean on when he was going through issues with addiction. And his brother wasn't there for him, and his dad also wasn't there for him. So I was, driving him to and from rehab, trying to navigate helping him while, you know, still being friends with his older brother who hated him. And his older brother like sold weed, so I was like, you know, I wasn't really doing it that crazy, but I was like selling weed a little bit and like doing it with him. So that also just like complicated the situation. Um but I kind of started having weird relationships with both of them. But I would say at that time I was probably like emotionally closer with the younger brother. And you know, then one day I get the call that he died. And obviously it wrecked me. I was living in New York City at the time, so I wasn't seeing him as much, because he still lived in New Jersey. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen, going to his funeral and after the funeral because of the relationship that his family had with him, specifically his brother. And I haven't spoken to his brother since he died. I don't even think I said any words to him at the funeral. I think I just gave him a hug. And it's been years now, and I really have realized recently that I still hold a lot of resentment towards him. And I know that I've heard, cuz our families are still close, like they literally my parents still live next door to their family to this day. So I know, from my parents that he's been having a really hard time kind of dealing with that, but I just don't feel like I can forgive him. And his father was really messed up too, and kind of was part of the reason why I think my friend that passed was so fucked up. But at his funeral, he basically said like he was grateful that I was helping him because nobody else was helping him. And this is someone's son that he had to try to resuscitate in his own home. So I felt like that was all I needed to not have any sort of resentment still held towards his father to this day. And now when I see him, like, our relationship's probably better than it's ever been. Um, but his brother, I just don't think he has been able to fully confront it and deal with it within himself. So I don't know. It's weird. And this is sort of different than the videos that I make sometimes, but this is just a story that I felt like I had to tell. I just had to get it out of my head. It's been coming up a lot in my mind lately. Like I said, even though it's been years, I'm like really thinking about it in a different way for some reason. So I just wanted to get it out and record it so I have it for myself even. I'm not going to do the whole ending thing I normally do. I'm just going to end the video. So I'll see you guys next week.